Hey Brick Bloggeteers, Will here, and today we're looking at set 76316, Fantastic Four versus Galactus construction figure. Now this will retail for $59.99, and when I heard that, it made me pause, because one, I do like the idea of, with one set, I can get a whole team, the entire Fantastic Four, and I can get a representation of Galactus. That was nice. 60 just seemed a lot. So when I had a chance to get a review copy, I took it to see how does it compare. This is Galactus. Turns out he's actually comparable to the Iron Man construction figure, which I think I paid $50 for. So for $10 more, you actually get 4 minifigures and the construction figure, which I think in some respects has better joints than what the Iron Man did. So I think the pricing worked out well, especially since you get some very unusual like purple colors with Galactus. Now Galactus is purpose built to have spots for minifigures to fight on, which is why we have them posed this way. We have a spot on his upper arm, on his feet. You can actually see the empty foot has a stud, and Ben is using the other one. On his palms, of course, he's holding Mr. Fantastic in one, but you have his other palm. And Johnny is actually connected in the back using the swoop thing just so he's flying. There's also studs like on his thigh, so if he is sitting down, someone can be standing on him. Sticker wise, you have them mostly on his like loincloth skirt sort of thing, as well as his torso. The front face hair, I can't remember. It might be printed. But sticker wise, it's actually not very intensive. They actually do a really good job at making most of his details from the actual piece colors themselves. Now for his motion, he does have a ball joint for his head, so he can look around. And this is probably the perfect connection for any sort of construction figure because it looks so natural. As for his arms, they have ball joints underneath his shoulder pauldrons. And there's actually these covers, so if I turn one back, you can actually see the ball joint. But because they do that, he's actually more aesthetically pleasing. They did put a tiny little sticker. This is probably the most intense sticker that they have, is right on the, probably this one. On the front side is a little striping there. Let me actually start removing Fantastic Four figures. Okay, so we got the ball joint on the shoulders. As for his elbow, this is double hinge plate. It can only go so far because you actually have a wedge plate in there to prevent it from, well, basically looking like his arm's broken, and it can go all the way up to there. His wrist has this panel that's covering a small ball joint, so he does have a lot of motion in his wrist. And of course, his fingers are the little robot arms that are clipped onto bars, so he can form more like fist-like motions. As for his torso, this is actually a two-part. You got his pelvis as one piece and the upper torso as another. We have a sunken ball joint in there so that he can actually twist his torso around and not rely on just his head motion. The skirt section does hide a ball joint with locking hinge, so it can tilt out and forward and back. As for his knee, it works similar to his shoulder, where they have this front section that helps cover up the ball joint in there so that you can move that naturally. And then his ankle has a final ball joint so that if you really widen his stance, he can still remain his feet on the ground. Let's put that back in place. All right, so, and the other nice thing is for each of the Fantastic Four figures, they did give them just enough accessories to give them the illusion of their powers going off. So for Johnny, he has the flames coming out of his feet, as well as the little launchers for his hands. For Sue, she has the invisible shields coming out of her hands. For Ben, he has the oversized gloves. Now, he's not a giant maxi figure like you would see in the comics. This is because it's based on the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. And in there, he was a big guy, but he wasn't oversized. And then, of course, Reed Richards has the bricks and slopes for the elongated legs to give him his stretchy appearance. So for $60, I would say it's actually pretty good. The other thing that sold me on this was before I went and asked for this as a review copy, I did watch the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, because up to that point, I had been soured on the Fantastic Four each time they've ever tried a Fantastic Four movie. I really liked First Steps, and so that made me partial to wanting to check this set out. I do recommend doing that. Check out the movie. If you feel the same about them, then this is a great buy. If you're still bland on the Fantastic Four, then there's not a lot this set can offer. But hopefully that gives you an idea to check out Fantastic Four versus Galactus.